Good afternoon. Thank you for coming. I am Prem Singh. I'm President and CTO for Teinnovations. We are located in the western suburb of Chicago. The subject we are going to talk about is sustainable packaging. And it's a big subject, a very serious subject, by the way. But we have only 15 minutes, so hopefully we'll give you enough sense that you can take some home and use it as your own sustainable packaging initiative. So let's go. And so what is sustainability? We'll talk about, you will hear that word. But what is it? So maybe we can define a little bit. So substantiability is our ability to coexist with biosphere forever until, of course, the earth is destroyed or, we destroy it ourselves. But it's our ability to coexist with biosphere forever. Question is, what is biosphere? So the biosphere is the part of Earth where life exists, all of our life, including the worms, birds, and everything else that is alive. So life exists between about 1640 feet roughly below the ocean and surface about 3.75 miles above sea level, just so that you know the boundary of the biosphere. The biosphere has existed for about 3.5 billion years. So obviously, we don't want to mess it up. Do we? Thank you for saying no. So what is all this fuss about unsustainability? If it existed 3.5 billion years ago, what's the big fuss? So first of all, the plastic, we are talking about sustainability of the plastic. It can be food as well, but this case, we are talking about plastic, right? So it has become the necessary material for the modern economy. We cannot avoid it at this point, honestly. Plastic has excellent functional property with lowest cost. Just look around. You're bound to find plastic near you right now. Your pen, your computer, your cell phone, your button in the shirt, they all have plastic. So obviously, it's pretty important in our life. So what's the problem then? Okay, so think of a cucumber that you will find in a store, which was shrink wrapped in polyethylene, which is a plastic. What's happening? What's wrong with that? Well, the cucumber shelf life increases from about 4 days to 14 days. That's good news. But what happened to the wrap itself, which is basically polyethylene? It may last more than a century, 500 years perhaps. Isn't that a big problem? Yeah. Okay, the other one is of the 78 million metric tons of plastic globally each year, only 14% is recycled. What happened to the rest of them, sir? Well, it goes to the landfill, bounce around, and it goes to the ocean. Big problem, right? 9 million metric tons of plastic is dumped every year in the ocean. By the way, 9 million metric tons is about 18 billion pounds, 2,000 pounds per ton. So in that basis, we've got a lot of stuff going into plastic. See that here? It's projected by 2050, there'll be more fish. There'll be more plastic, than the fish. It's a big problem. So that is the fuss about sustainability. So it's a serious problem. And the other one that I have realized that in plastic-related industries, people are known to develop, some kind of cancer because of the chronic exposure. And I was one of the plants myself, and I can understand that. So it is a serious problem. So how do we fix it? Well, think about these 5 R's of sustainability, and we'll go through each one of them. The one for recycle, reuse, renew, reduce, and in the reduce there are some subcategories like molecular redesign. We'll talk about that. Bioplastic, PLA, PSM, by the way, is a innovation material we supply, excellent material, better than PSM. We'll talk about it. And PHA, I love it, and we are studying more and more, and we will talk about a little bit more. It's polyhydroxy alcohol. But don't worry about the big name, but we'll talk about a little bit, and after this presentation, you can contact us for. And then the fourth one is reduce and repurpose. Again, we'll talk about all of those. So let's talk about recycle, the first one, right? Recycle is simply recover and use it again. Some people call it circular plastic. So don't throw that out. When you get that plastic tub in hummus, basically those are PET, but don't throw that out, recycle it. So recycle simply means recover and use it again. Remember, 14% is only recyclable. So it's up to us, up to you and me to increase the recycle rate, right? So it goes to the sustainability question. Some of the example is PET, bags, pouches, containers, cups, and bottles, like water. They could be recycled, right? And we have a recyclable or recycle-ready thermoforming film that Teinnovations produces. We can talk about later on. The other film include bio-based films, PSM, PLA. Pouches can be made from very high PCR, which stands for post-consumer recycled PET. And PHA, again, I'm pretty excited about PHA. The picture you see on the right-hand side, you can see that bottle, the Dasani, which is Coke bottle, they say 30% bio-based, but it's recyclable. And the other one on the right-hand side is also recyclable, even though the high-density polyethylene, but it is recyclable. And we'll not go in detail how they're recycled, but there are only 15 minutes, so we'll move forward. So the second was renew. What that means? You can see the word renew means that you should substitute again and again and again. So those plastics are renewable plastic made from renewable sources, made from organic, renewable, natural source as opposed to traditional, oil-based. And some of the examples are organic, natural, and renewable feedstock, vegetable oils, cornstarch, tapioca, straw, cellulose, wood chips, and a bunch of stuff. And then we have the bio-based plastic. And we'll talk about the difference between those two. You can see on the picture here, a lot of stuffs are renewable, and it's increasing more and more and more, right? Example of bioplastic people ask us, so PLA, lactic acid, very traditional bioplastic. ESM that we, Teinnovations, has the exclusive right to market this in the United States. It's in many cases it's better than actually PLA. Then we got PHA, which I'm excited about, which is polyhydroxy alcohol. Very important emerging bioplastic made from canola oil and bacteria. Do you believe that? So we can take the bacteria, the certain kind of bacteria, and take, like, for example, any kind of carbon-based material, and that bacteria converts into PHA. Why PHA? We're excited because it seems like their properties is just like polymers, like polyester. And the beautiful thing with PHA is that it biodegrades not only in soil, but also in water. So few days it's gone. And you can see on the side, on the right-hand side, the white bottles. That was a PHA bottle degraded into second one and third one. You can say it's going to go and mingle with earth. So bacteria has eaten it up. So, and PHA can be made from, bio-based material, including oils and sugars. And so it has not been yet cost effective, but it's coming. And you can see the example on the second picture, the red border, that actually it's marketed in Australia. So it's replacing some of the polystyrene trays. PBA, another one, PCL. PBA and PCL is not actually the 100% bio material, but it's because mixed with the starch, so we think that it's an example of bioplastic. Packaging for e-commerce, sustainability. So e-commerce is not a trend anymore, guys. It is a reality. It's a reality. Amazon's vision for 50% all shipments, net zero carbon, we have to achieve by 2030. So so what we are doing is redesigning and to maximize profit, of course, but box design, no bubble wrap, which is more sustainable if it is not a bubble wrap, more interactive. Then we have RFID, which is radio frequency identification, which helps to understand, the consumer. They're giving more information whether it's sustainable or not sustainable. So it's e-commerce has to be more sustainable, and that's the good news. It kind of synergizes itself with sustainable material. So here's the reduce and reuse. So reduce only means downgauge. Many times our customer comes to us and we will challenge them that why is that much thicker? So, and we will find that it's not necessary. So we will help you downgauging, reducing head space, consolidate primary and secondary packaging. So why you have to package inside the package, right? And reuse, it's about mindset. So for example, if you're traveling in the airport and you have a, PET bottles, and usually they will take it out and throw that out. So instead of doing that, why can't we have empty bottle and fill it up with the water and carry that, so you don't have to, and when you land, you can use that again, and you're in the hotel, you can use it again. So it's just the mindset, right? And examples would be glass bottles, cleaning and use, refilling water bottles, coffee mugs. Don't throw that out, use the coffee mugs again and again. So it's a mindset, right? So reduce and reuse. Reuse plastics. The examples are, we talked about, that how can you reuse it, and this is reuse and kind of also repurpose sometimes. So this is so we one thing we want to go back here is that this is reuse, but could be used as a repurpose. So for example, rather than throwing the plastic bottles, in this case, it's a repurpose for making the fabric t-shirt. In India, they're taking those polyethylene bottles, if they can recycle for some reason, they're grinding it up and putting it into the concrete. So, and concrete, reinforced concrete, it increases the strength of the concrete. So, so again, 4 R's, if I could just very quickly go there, we got recycle, reuse, renew, reduce, and repurpose. You don't have to understand all these things and jargons and chemistry. Innovation, we are studying this very seriously. We have the knowledge and material necessary to help you commercialize your sustainable packaging initiatives. So you don't have to be, PhD in chemistry. Just, we will become your partner, and we will help you and make sure that your initiatives are implemented. We are happy to take your questions. And again, thank you very much for your valuable time. I know you have a lot of stuff to attend, but you came here, so thank you.